Close your eyes and take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air around you transform into the warm, dry embrace of the eternal desert. Imagine yourself standing on the western edge of the Giza Plateau, where the grains of sand flow like time itself, endless, silent, and ancient. The sun is beginning its slow descent from the ceiling of the sky, leaving behind a trail of weary but peaceful light. The sharp blue of the day is fading, melting into shades of burnt orange, dusty violet, and a soft, glowing amber that kisses the horizon. Below the plateau, the great Nile flows with a quiet, steady resolve. The water reflects the shifting colors of the sky, turning into a river of liquid gold. As you listen, you hear the rhythmic rustle of papyrus reeds swaying in the evening breeze, a sound that has remained unchanged for 5,000 years. It is a whisper from the past, a gentle command to slow down, to breathe, and to let the current of history carry you away. The scent of the river, a mix of damp earth and sun-dried reeds, begins to dissolve the clutter of the modern world from your mind. As you stand by the bank, you see the silhouettes of palm trees stretching against the massive, golden orb of the sun. The light is dim and warm, casting long, soft shadows over the rising foundations of the great monuments. Here, the eternal union of stone and sand begins. There is no rush in this land. Time is not measured by seconds or minutes, but by the rising of the Nile and the setting of the sun. This is now your rhythm. Your body feels heavier, sinking into the cool sand. Your mind becomes as still as the deep waters of the river. Every ripple in the Nile is like a lullaby, preparing you for a deep, dreamless rest. You are no longer a spectator. You are part of this timeless piece, a single grain of sand in the vast desert of history. The world is slowing down. You are slowing down. Every breath you take is a step further into the golden dusk. As the last sliver of the sun disappears behind the dunes, a deep, cool stillness settles over the valley. Now, imagine the journey of the stones. Far to the south, in the white quarries of Tura, massive blocks of limestone have been awakened from their mountain sleep. They are pure, pale, and heavy with the weight of eternity. Watch as they are placed onto great cedarwood rafts, floating silently upon the dark mirror of the Nile. There is no engine, no friction, only the gentle, rhythmic lap of water against the wood. Lap, lap, lap. The river is a conveyor of dreams, carrying the bones of the earth to their sacred destination. Feel the immense weight of these stones grounding you. They do not hurry, they move with the patient pulse of the water. As you drift with them, the cool mist of the river touches your skin, washing away the last remnants of the day's heat. The rafts reach the Giza Plateau. In the twilight, the foundation of the Great Pyramid stands like a vast, stone labyrinth. Thousands of workers move in a slow, meditative dance. There are no loud shouts, only the soft, low hum of 100 voices chanting in a deep, baritone harmony, a song that anchors the soul to the earth. You can hear the faint, muffled sound of copper chisels meeting stone, a steady heartbeat that pulses through the ground and into your very being. Each block is moved with precision, sliding over wet clay and wooden rollers. Feel the friction, the slow, heavy slide of a 5-ton block finding its forever home. Slide, settle, rest. As each stone is placed, the earth itself seems to sigh in contentment. The foundation is deep, solid, and unshakable, just like the peace that is now filling your body. You are becoming as heavy as the limestone, as steady as the foundation, and as silent as the cooling desert air. The giants are rising, and as they do, you sink deeper into the velvet darkness of the night. The world above the Giza Plateau begins to change. As the night deepens, the Great Pyramid is no longer just a foundation, it is a stairway to the heavens. Imagine the silent ascent. Layer by layer, the white limestone climbs toward the stars. The air here is thinner, cooler, and filled with the scent of starlight and dry stone. Thousands of shadows move in perfect, slow-motion harmony. There is a profound silence in their labor, a meditative grace that defies the immense weight they carry. You can hear the soft, rhythmic thump-thump of heavy ropes straining against wooden rollers, a sound like a giant's breathing, deep and steady. Pull, release, rest. Each breath of the workers is a shared prayer for the night. As you look up, the apex of the monument seems to touch the velvet curtain of the cosmos. The higher the stones climb, the further away the noise of the world becomes. You are rising with the stone, leaving behind the worries of the earth, drifting into a space where only the wind and the moon exist. The desert wind whispers through the narrow gaps between the blocks, a high, haunting whistle that cleanses your mind of all thoughts. Feel the coolness of the limestone beneath your hands. It has captured the chill of the desert night, a refreshing contrast to the inner warmth of your body. You are becoming part of this vertical journey. Your spirit is as light as the desert air, even as your body remains as grounded and heavy as the Great Pyramid itself. The higher we go, the quieter it gets. The stars are closer now, their silver light illuminating the path to a deep, profound sleep. You are ascending into a dream, step by silent step. The climb has ended. The last capstone, the pyramid ion, has been placed at the very peak, catching the silver radiance of the moon. Now, imagine the Giza Plateau as a sea of absolute stillness. The thousands of workers have returned to their homes, their breathing now a soft, collective sigh in the valley below. Only the Great Sphinx remains awake, its stony gaze fixed eternally on the eastern horizon, guarding the silence of the giants. Look up. The sky is no longer just a ceiling, it is a deep, infinite ocean of stars. The Milky Way stretches across the apex of the pyramids like a river of celestial dust, mirroring the Nile below. Each star is a steady, flickering candle in the dark, watching over your rest. The alignment is perfect. The three great tombs point toward the belt of Orion, creating a bridge between the earth and the cosmos. The desert sand has lost all its heat. It is now a cool, powdery velvet that cushions the world. Feel the profound weight of the history around you. These monuments were built to last forever, to defy time itself. As you lie in the shadow of these ancient giants, their permanence becomes your peace. You do not need to worry about tomorrow, for these stones have seen 10,000 tomorrows come and go. The wind whispers through the limestone casing, a low, melodic hum that vibrates deep within your chest. It is the sound of the universe breathing. Hum. A sound of total belonging. You are safe. You are grounded. You are as timeless as the great dust of Egypt. The stars are dimming now, not because they are fading, but because you are drifting into a deeper, darker, and more beautiful place. Let the shadows of the pharaohs tuck you in. The journey is complete. The rest is eternal. Leave the starlight behind for a moment and step into the cool, limestone breath of the Great Pyramid itself. As you enter the narrow ascending passage, the sounds of the outside world, the desert wind, the distant river, the shifting sands, begin to fade into a soft, distant hum. Here the air is still, ancient, and perfectly tempered. It carries the faint, dry scent of cedar oil and thousand-year-old dust, a smell that speaks of eternal rest. The walls of the grand gallery rise high above you, leaning inward in a protective, corbelled embrace. Your footsteps are silent on the smooth floor. Each step takes you deeper into the mountain of stone, further away from the distractions of the living world. Feel the immense weight of the millions of blocks above you, not as a burden, but as a shield. You are being cradled by the very earth, protected by millions of tons of history. Nothing can reach you here. Now, you enter the king's chamber. The walls are made of dark, red granite, cold and smooth to the touch. In the center lies the empty sarcophagus, a vessel of silence. There is a peculiar resonance in this room, a low, vibrating frequency that matches the steady beat of your own heart. Thump, thump, thump. The chamber acts as a giant tuning fork for the soul, pulling your erratic thoughts into a single, slow, and rhythmic line. Close your eyes within the darkness of the chamber. This is a darkness so pure, so absolute, that it feels like a warm velvet blanket. In this void, time does not exist. A minute could be a century, a breath could be an age. You are drifting in the center of a stone star, anchored to the core of the world. The silence here is not empty, it is full of peace, full of the wisdom of the deep time. Let your mind become as still as the granite walls. You are safe in the heart of the giant. You are ready for the deepest sleep. Leave the king's chamber and glide through the narrow air shafts that point like stone fingers toward the distant stars. These corridors are the lungs of the pyramid, breathing the cool night air into its granite heart. As you move, your mind becomes as narrow and focused as these passages. There is no room for wide, wandering worries here. Only the smooth, cold surface of the limestone and the steady, rhythmic sound of your own breath. In, out, in, out. The walls are inscribed with invisible stories, prayers for a journey that never ends. You can feel the texture of the hieroglyphs beneath your fingertips, even in the dark. Each carved symbol is a seed of peace, planted thousands of years ago just for this moment. The corridor leads you upward, then downward, a gentle rise and fall that mimics the waves of a calm sea. You are navigating the architecture of a dream, moving toward a state of being where the body is heavy but the spirit is weightless. You emerge from the inner depths to find yourself standing before the Great Sphinx once more. The night is at its darkest, the hour just before the first hint of light. The Sphinx sits in its limestone hollow, a mountain of a lion, a mountain of a man. Its eyes are open, yet they see nothing of this world, they are fixed on the eternal. Feel the protective aura of this guardian. It has watched the constellations shift their positions over 5 millennia. The pores of the Sphinx are buried deep in the golden sand, anchoring the entire plateau to the bedrock of the earth. As you lean against its cool, weathered flank, you realize that you are safe under the watch of the oldest sentinel on earth. The silence here is thick and protective, like a heavy wool blanket. The Sphinx does not move, does not breathe, yet it vibrates with the slow, low-frequency hum of the planet. Let that hum synchronize with your pulse. You are guarded. You are watched. You are home. Now, let your consciousness drift away from the stone and into the dunes that surround the Giza Plateau. The Sahara is a sea of gold, and tonight the waves are still. Each grain of sand is a tiny crystal of time, a fragment of a mountain that existed millions of years ago. Feel the sand shifting beneath you, soft and yielding. It conforms perfectly to the shape of your body, supporting every muscle, every joint. The wind begins a slow, melodic dance across the crests of the dunes. It is a singing sand phenomenon, a low, droning moan that sounds like a distant cello. This is the Earth's own lullaby. The sand carries the memory of ancient oceans and forgotten rains. As you listen to the desert song, your own memories begin to dissolve into the vastness. You are no longer a person with a name and a story, you are a part of the desert, a single grain in an infinite sea of peace. The stars begin to twinkle with a final, desperate intensity as the temperature of the desert drops to its lowest point. This is the pre-dawn chill, the most sacred hour of the deep time. The air is so clear it feels like drinking from a cold mountain spring. It fills your lungs with a purity that washes away the fatigue of the soul. Every breath is a renewal. Look toward the horizon. The blackness of the night is softening into a deep, velvety indigo. The pyramids appear as massive, dark shadows against the coming light, their sharp edges cutting into the sky. The world is holding its breath. In this moment of absolute stillness, even the wind has stopped its whispering. There is a profound sense of anticipation, yet there is no hurry. The sun will rise, but not yet. For now, there is only the cold, the dark, and the perfect clarity of being. As the indigo sky begins to bleed into a soft violet, the shadows of the pyramids grow impossibly long, stretching across the desert floor like the fingers of time itself. These shadows are cool and inviting. They wrap around the dunes, creating pockets of darkness where the night refuses to leave. You find yourself resting within one of these shadows, a sanctuary of shade in a world about to wake. The scale of the monuments is overwhelming, yet comforting. They are so large that they make your problems feel like dust. They have stood through empires, through floods, and through the slow drift of the continents. Resting in their shadow, you realize that you are part of something that does not break. Your sleep is protected by the same geometry that protects the pharaohs. The darkness is thick, the stone is steady, and the deep time is calling you further down into the abyss of rest. Leave the silent shadows of the stone and drift toward the silver ribbon of the Nile. At this hour, the river is a living, breathing entity, a dark mirror reflecting the ancient stars. The water does not just flow, it pulses with a deep, subterranean heartbeat. Imagine yourself submerged in its cool, silk-like embrace, not drowning, but floating, weightless and free. The current is a gentle hand, guiding you through the reeds and over the smooth, sunken stones that have watched empires rise and fall. The sound of the water is a complex tapestry of soft splashes and deep, gurgling murmurs. Gurgle, swirl, hush. It is a language older than any hieroglyph. As you drift, the river strips away the heat of the day and the weight of your thoughts. You are becoming as fluid as the Nile itself, weaving through the dark lotuses that sleep upon the surface. The lotuses are closed now, their petals folded in a tight, protective bud, waiting for a sun that is still hours away. You, too, are folded into yourself, safe in the liquid cradle of the valley. On the banks of the river, the papyrus thickets stand like tall, slender guardians. The night wind moves through them, creating a symphony of dry rustles and hollow clicks. Each reed is a flute played by the desert breeze. Shush-TK? Shush-TK? This sound is the white noise of ancient Egypt, a constant, repetitive rhythm that lulls the mind into a trance. It is the sound of nature's own weaving, a pattern of noise that has no beginning and no end. The smell here is rich and grounding, the scent of wet silt, green stems, and the faint, sweet aroma of night-blooming jasmine from a distant garden. It is a fragrance that anchors you to the earth even as your mind floats. You can hear the tiny, rhythmic clicks of river insects and the distant, lonely call of a night heron. These sounds do not disturb the silence, they define it. They are the small, delicate stitches in the vast fabric of the night. Feel the reeds brushing against the air, 1,000 tiny whispers telling you to let go. Beneath the surface of the Nile, there is a world of absolute tranquility. Imagine diving deep into the cool, dark silt, where the light of the moon cannot reach. Here, the pressure of the water is a warm, firm hug, pressing against your skin and telling your muscles to relax. The silence here is different. It is a heavy, muffled silence, like being inside a great, liquid bell. In this underwater sanctuary, you find the submerged temples of your own mind. Ancient statues of basalt and granite rest on the riverbed, their faces worn smooth by millennia of flowing water. They are the symbols of your oldest, most peaceful memories. As you glide past them, they offer you their stillness. There is no breath here, only the slow, rhythmic expansion of the soul. The water carries the wisdom of the mountains and the secrets of the sea. You are drinking in the quietude of the deep river. Every cell in your body is saturated with peace. Far off in the distance, on the edge of the desert plateau, a phantom caravan moves silently under the moon. This is not a caravan of trade, but of dreams. The rhythmic, heavy plodding of camels' feet on the soft sand creates a low-frequency vibration that travels through the ground. Thump, pause, thump, pause. It is a slow, tired pace, the gait of those who have traveled across lifetimes to find this moment of rest. The bells on the harness of the lead camel give a single, silver chime every few minutes, a sound that cuts through the darkness like a tiny spark of light. It is a reminder that you are not alone in this vastness, but part of a long, wandering line of souls seeking the dawn. The caravan is not heading anywhere, it is simply moving with the rotation of the earth. The slow, swaying motion of the camels is contagious. You feel your own body swaying, rocking in the invisible cradle of the night. The desert is a path with no end, and you are happy to wander it forever in your sleep. The entire Nile Valley is now a single, breathing organism. From the delta to the cataracts of the south, a cool, moist mist begins to rise from the fields. This is the breath of the valley, a fog of dreams that blurs the lines between the earth and the sky. The Great Pyramid, the Sphinx, and the temples are now floating in a sea of white vapor. They look like islands of stone in an ocean of clouds. This mist is cool against your face, a refreshing veil that hides the world of the living. It muffles all remaining sounds, turning the world into a soft, cushioned void. You are floating in this mist, suspended between the history of the land and the mystery of the stars. The air is thick with the moisture of life, yet still with the chill of the desert. You are inhaling the very essence of Egypt, the dust of the pyramids, the water of the Nile, and the silence of the Sphinx. The valley has tucked you in. The mist is your blanket. You are ready to vanish into the deep time. Imagine standing at the very pinnacle of the Great Pyramid, the world below hidden by a blanket of soft, white mist. Up here, you are closer to the gods than to the earth. The air is thin, crisp, and carries the electric silence of the cosmos. You are the silent watcher, a sentinel of the night. From this height, the Nile is but a dark, winding ribbon, and the desert is a frozen sea of shadows. The stones beneath your feet are cool, having surrendered their daily heat to the infinite vacuum of space. As you look up, the stars do not just twinkle, they pulse with a steady, rhythmic light, like distant beacons in a dark ocean. There is a profound sense of perspective here. You are a small, peaceful point in a vast, rotating universe. The slow, imperceptible movement of the constellations is the only clock that matters. The Great Bear, the Dragon, and the Lion, they all march in a slow, celestial parade across the dome of your mind. You are drifting with them, ascending into the velvet blackness of the sky. Now, focus on the three great stars of Orion's belt, hanging directly above the three pyramids of Giza. This is not a coincidence, it is a conversation between the earth and the heavens. Feel the invisible threads of energy connecting the stone peaks to the star fires above. It is a perfect, geometric alignment, a balance that has lasted for thousands of years. This alignment acts as an anchor for your soul. Just as the pyramids are fixed to the stars, your mind is fixed to a point of absolute stillness. The heavy, dark granite of the inner chambers mirrors the heavy, dark matter of the space between the stars. You are the bridge between the two. The symmetry of the universe is reflected in the symmetry of your breathing. In, out, as above, so below. Everything is in its right place. There is no chaos, only the grand, silent order of the deep time. Let the precision of the stars stabilize your heartbeat. You are part of the architecture of the cosmos. Suddenly, a streak of silver light cuts through the indigo dark, a falling star, a tiny fragment of a distant world visiting the Egyptian night. It leaves a glowing trail that lingers for a heartbeat before dissolving into the void. Then another follows, and another. It is a slow-motion rain of light over the silent desert. These meteors are the dust of the gods, scattered across the sky to remind you of the transient of all things. But here, amidst the eternal stone, even the fleeting becomes peaceful. Each streak of light is a thought leaving your mind, a worry burning up in the atmosphere of your rest. Watch them fall, one by one. They are silent, beautiful, and effortless. The desert absorbs their light, and you absorb their stillness. The sky is a canvas of dreams, and you are the dreamer. The night is a shower of silver, washing you clean of the day. Listen closely to the absolute silence of the high desert. Within that silence, there is a sound, a low, resonant hum that seems to come from the stars themselves. Ancient philosophers called it the music of the spheres. It is the sound of the planets turning, the friction of the solar winds, and the vibration of the very fabric of time. It is not a sound you hear with your ears, but with your entire body. It is a deep, baritone drone that vibrates in the marrow of your bones. It is the frequency of the universe at rest. This harmonic hum acts like a heavy, warm weight, pressing you deeper into your bed of sand. It pulls you down, away from the surface of consciousness, into the subterranean depths of sleep. The stars are singing to you, a wordless lullaby that bypasses the mind and speaks directly to the spirit. You are vibrating in harmony with the Great Pyramid and the Great Void. The night has reached its deepest point, the hour of the infinite indigo. The sky is so dark it has become translucent. You can almost see through the darkness into the infinite reaches of the galaxy. The pyramids are no longer objects, they are silhouettes of pure peace, carved out of the night. In this moment, the boundary between you and the universe disappears. You are the sand, you are the stone, you are the river, and you are the stars. Your identity is dissolving into the indigo vastness. There is no I, only the deep time. The silence is absolute. The rest is total. You are floating in a sea of shadow, supported by the strength of the pharaohs and the light of the ancients. The world is gone. Only the breath remains. Only the peace remains. You are falling into the heart of the night, and it is the most beautiful fall of your life. The world has entered the sapphire hour. The pitch black of the midnight sky has softened into a deep, translucent indigo, a color so cool it feels like a physical touch against your skin. The pyramids, once sharp silhouettes, now appear to be carved from the sky itself. There is a profound, liquid stillness in the air. It is the moment when the desert holds its breath, caught between the memory of the stars and the promise of the sun. In this blue light, the limestone casing of the monuments glows with a ghostly, inner radiance. The heat of the previous day is a distant memory, replaced by a refreshing chill that settles into the valleys between the dunes. You are resting in this sapphire cradle, your body feeling lighter, your mind as clear as a desert spring. The shadows are no longer dark, they are layers of soft blue silk, wrapping around you, shielding you from the noise of existence. You are drifting in a sea of sapphire, where time is measured only by the slow, rhythmic pulse of the cosmos. As the temperature reaches its lowest point, a miracle of the desert occurs, the birth of the morning dew. Imagine billions of microscopic droplets forming on the rough surfaces of the giant stones. They cling to the granite and limestone like tiny diamonds, capturing the faint, pre-dawn light. This moisture is the tears of Isis, a gift of life to the parched sands. The scent of the plateau changes. The dry, dusty aroma of the night is replaced by the crisp, metallic scent of wet stone and cold earth. It is a fragrance of renewal, of a world being washed clean while it sleeps. Feel the coolness of this mist on your brow. It is a natural balm, smoothing away the lines of tension, cooling the fires of thought. Each drop of dew is a tiny anchor of peace, weighing down the eyelids, urging the soul to stay a little longer in the realm of dreams. The stone is breathing, and you are breathing with it, slow, damp, and deep. From the distant east, across the Red Sea and over the jagged mountains, the first wind of the coming day begins its journey. It is not a gust, but a sigh, a low, melodic whistle that weaves through the narrow passages and casing stones of the Great Pyramid. This is the song of the first wind, a celestial flute played by the earth itself. Listen to the way the wind hums as it strikes the sharp angles of the monuments. It creates a series of complex, low-frequency harmonics that vibrate through the air. Hoon, Shah. It is a sound that bypasses the ears and resonates in the chest. This wind carries the salt of the sea and the ancient dust of the high plateaus. It brushes against your hair like a phantom hand, a gentle reminder that the world is vast and you are safe within its embrace. The wind is a bridge between the silence of the night and the song of the morning. Let it carry your last remaining thoughts away, leaving only the music of the air. Look toward the eastern horizon. A thin, silver line has begun to trace the edge of the world, separating the dark earth from the lightening sky. This is the silver horizon, the first blush of a new beginning. It is not yet light enough to see, but the darkness has lost its weight. The stars are receding, fading back into the deep ocean of space like retreating tide. The Great Sphinx watches this silver line with an intensity that has lasted for millennia. Its stony eyes are fixed on the exact point where the sun will eventually break, but for now it enjoys the silver peace. The desert floor reflects this pale light, making the dunes look like frozen waves of mercury. There is no movement yet, no birds, no insects, no footsteps. Only the silver glow, expanding slowly, inevitably. You are suspended in this silver moment, a ghost in a world of light and shadow, perfectly balanced, perfectly at rest. As the light grows, the true scale of the pyramids becomes visible once more. Feel that weight of the ages settling back into the ground. These structures are so heavy, so permanent, that they seem to pin the very fabric of time to the earth. There is an immense comfort in this weight. In a world that is always changing, always rushing, these stones remain. They do not move. They do not hurry. Resting in the presence of such permanence allows your heart to find its slowest rhythm. You realize that you don't have to carry your own weight, the earth is doing it for you. The stones are doing it for you. You are as solid as the granite, as enduring as the limestone. The coming day will bring its own stories, but they will not disturb the foundation of your peace. You are anchored to the deep time of Egypt, a place where sleep is a monument and dreams are as vast as the desert itself. The silver light is your blanket. The stone is your pillow. You are home. Watch the very apex of the Great Pyramid. The sky is now a pale, dusty rose, and for a few seconds, the world remains in shadow, except for the very tip. A single, sharp beam of sunlight, traveling from across the eastern mountains, strikes the capstone. It ignites like a celestial torch. This is the golden tip, the moment when the heavens first touch the earth. The light is a pure, liquid gold, unblemished by the dust of the day. This spark of light is a signal to your soul that the cycle of the night is complete. It doesn't bring noise, it brings a new kind of silence, a luminous, warm silence. As the gold begins to pour down the sides of the limestone casing, inch by slow inch, you feel a wave of warmth washing over your mind. It is a gentle awakening within a dream. You are not forced to wake up, you are simply invited to glow. The pyramid is a suncatcher, and you are resting in its brilliant, silent shadow. In the valley below, life begins to stir in the softest possible way. A small fennec fox, with ears like desert lilies, emerges from its sandy burrow. It moves with the grace of a shadow, its paws making no sound on the cooling dunes. It stops, tilts its head, and looks toward the rising light. This is the first movement, the subtle shift from the stillness of the dead night to the rhythm of the living morning. The fox's presence is a reminder of the delicate balance of this land. It doesn't rush, it pauses to sniff the dew-laden air, savoring the scent of the damp earth. You are like that fox, attuned to the smallest changes in your environment, perfectly safe in your surroundings. There is no predator here, no threat, only the shared peace of the desert creatures. The world is waking up, but it is doing so with a whisper, not a shout. Let the fox's quiet curiosity be your own. The desert is a home, and you are its guest. As the sun climbs higher, the desert begins to release its morning incense. The heat touches the mineral-rich sands and the scattered desert shrubs, creating a scent that is uniquely Egyptian. It is the smell of warm silica, dried thyme, and the ancient, sun-baked mud of the Nile banks. This is the breath of Ra, a fragrant vapor that fills the lungs and grounds the spirit. Inhale this scent deeply. It carries the history of millions of sunrises. It is a dry, clean, and honest aroma. It clears the fog from your mind, replacing it with a sense of solid, earthy reality. You can feel the sand beneath you becoming slightly warmer, a comforting heat that seeps into your muscles like a warm bath. The earth is waking up its children, tucking them into the warmth of the day after the chill of the night. You are being cradled by the very skin of the planet. The air between the dunes begins to shimmer. As the temperature rises, the light plays tricks on the eyes, creating the mirage of the first light. The horizon seems to ripple like water, and the distant palms of the Nile Valley appear to float in a sea of silver mist. It is a beautiful, harmless illusion, a reminder that the world is not always what it seems, and that there is magic in the transition. Watch the ripples as they dance across the Giza Plateau. The Great Sphinx seems to sway slightly in the heat haze, as if it were breathing or waking from a long, stony sleep. This shimmering light is like a soft curtain between you and the worries of the waking world. You are drifting in this haze, caught in the beautiful in-between of sleep and wakefulness. The world is a painting of light and heat, and you are the silent observer, safe behind the veil of the desert mist. The sun is now fully above the horizon, but the deep time of the pyramids does not end. The shadows remain long, and the silence of the stone remains absolute. You can hear that eternal echo, the sound of the wind as it has always been, the river as it has always flowed, and the stones as they have always stood. It is a sound that says, I am here. I have always been here. I will always be here. This echo is your final anchor. As you drift further into the depths of this journey, the stability of the pyramids becomes your own stability. No matter how much the world changes, this piece is yours to keep. The great dust of Egypt has settled around you, a protective layer of history and silence. You are not just sleeping, you are resting within the heart of time itself. The sun is warm, the stone is steady, and your soul is finally, completely, at rest. Beneath the shadow of the rising monuments in the temporary villages of mud brick and reed, the workers have surrendered to the night. These are the men who carved the mountain, whose muscles have memorized the vibration of the copper chisel against the stone. In their sleep, they do not dream of labor, they dream of the cool water of the Nile and the scent of baking bread in their mother's hearth. Feel the collective weight of their rest. Thousands of heartbeats, slowing down in unison, creating a rhythmic pulse that moves through the very ground you lie upon. Their dreams are the hidden foundation of the pyramids, a layer of human hope and quiet endurance that supports the heavy limestone. As you drift, you share in this profound exhaustion that has finally found its reward. There is no more pulling, no more lifting. There is only the sweet, heavy ache of a body that has earned its silence. You are sleeping with the builders of eternity, safe in the village of the stars. Now, let your mind sink into the very molecules of the white Tura limestone. Long before it was a pyramid, this stone was alive. Millions of years ago, it was a shimmering sea floor, composed of the tiny, delicate shells of ancient marine creatures. Can you feel the ocean memory trapped within the rock? Even here, in the heart of the Sahara, the stone carries the coolness of a prehistoric sea. As you touch the smooth casing, imagine the vast stretches of time it took to create this single block. It is a slow, pressurized piece. The stone is not just a building material, it is a library of the deep past. By resting against it, you are connecting to an era before humans, before cities, before worries. The crystalline structure of the lime acts as a natural hum, stabilizing your own energy. You are leaning against the floor of an ancient ocean, and its blue, watery silence is flowing into your soul. In the small crevices between the giant blocks, the tiny inhabitants of the desert find their own sanctuary. A desert scorpion, translucent and amber-colored, moves with mechanical precision through a labyrinth of stone. Its movements are so light they do not even stir the dust. This is that micro-world of the pyramid, a hidden layer of life that exists in the cracks of the monumental. The faint, rhythmic clicking of its segments is like the ticking of a cosmic watch. It reminds you that peace exists in the smallest of spaces. You don't need a vast kingdom to be at rest, you only need a safe corner, a cool shadow, and a moment of stillness. The pyramid provides 1,000,000 such sanctuaries. As you imagine this tiny creature settling into its stone crevice, you find your own perfect position. The world is large, but your space is small, cozy, and impenetrable. The stone protects the small just as it honors the great. High above, in the scaffolding and the sledges used to transport the king's sarcophagus, the scent of imported cedar wood lingers in the night air. This wood travelled from the distant forests of Lebanon, carrying the aroma of mountain mist and evergreen resin. It is a sharp, clean scent that cuts through the dusty heat of the desert, providing a sensory bridge to a cooler world. Close your eyes and breathe in this phantom fragrance. It is the smell of strength and durability. The cedar oil used to lubricate the rollers has seeped into the sand, creating a rich, earthy perfume that grounds your senses. This scent acts as a natural sedative, clearing the mind of modern clutter and replacing it with the raw, honest materials of the earth. You are resting on a bed of cedar and stone, supported by the finest gifts of the ancient world. The forest and the desert have met to guard your sleep. The deeper you go into the story, the more you feel the gravity of the abyss. The Great Pyramid is so massive that it actually exerts a tiny, measurable pull on everything around it. It is an anchor for the planet's crust. Feel this gravity pulling at your limbs, making them feel like heavy, warm lead. Your arms, your legs, your very eyelids are being drawn down toward the center of the earth by the sheer mass of the stone. This is not a scary pull, it is the ultimate embrace. It is the earth saying, "I have you. I will not let you fall." You are pinned to the bed of the world by 2 million blocks of stone. There is no possibility of drifting back into the world of movement. You are anchored. You are set. You are part of the geology of Egypt. The gravity is a warm, thick liquid that fills the room, making every breath a slow, deliberate act of worship. Sink deeper. Let the weight take you. The abyss is not empty, it is full of the peace of the ages. Listen to the Khamsin, the desert wind that has traveled across 1,000 miles of dunes to reach this plateau. It is the invisible sculptor, a force that carries millions of microscopic grains of sand. As it brushes against the limestone, it creates a faint, high-pitched hiss, the sound of time itself wearing down the mountain. SSSSHHH. SSSSHHH. It is a rhythmic, patient sanding of the world. This sound is a natural white noise, a steady frequency that masks the sharp edges of your thoughts. Feel the wind as it swirls around the corners of the Great Pyramid, losing its strength and becoming a gentle caress. It is stripping away the outer layers of the day, leaving only the smooth, core essence of your being. You are being polished by the desert, rounded by the air, and softened by the night. There is no resistance, only the beauty of being slowly, peacefully undone by the elements. Every night, tons of cosmic dust, microscopic fragments of comets and long-dead stars, fall silently onto the earth. Because of their immense surface area, the pyramids act as celestial catchers, collecting this stardust on their broad, stone shoulders. Imagine this silver powder settling over you, a thin, glittering veil from the far reaches of the galaxy. This dust carries the silence of the vacuum of space. It is cold, ancient, and incredibly still. As it settles into the pores of the stone and the fabric of your rest, it brings with it the perspective of the infinite. Your worries are terrestrial, but your environment is now cosmic. You are covered in the debris of the universe, a blanket of light that weighs nothing but means everything. You are no longer just lying on the ground, you are a part of the celestial fall. The stars are literally resting upon you. The Great Sphinx does not speak in words, but in geological whispers. As the temperature of the night fluctuates, the massive limestone body of the Lion Man undergoes tiny, internal shifts. These movements create low-frequency vibrations that echo through the bedrock. It is the Sphinx talking to the earth, a deep, tectonic conversation about the passing of eras. If you press your ear to the sand, you can hear this heartbeat of the guardian. It is a slow, thrumming sound, vroom, vroom, that resonates in your solar plexus. It tells you that you are protected by a force that does not sleep, a mind that does not wander, and a body that does not tire. The Sphinx is dreaming for you, holding the weight of the history so you don't have to. Its whispers are a code for all is well, a reassurance that has echoed through 5,000 years of Egyptian nights. Floating through the night air from the temple courtyards near the river comes the scent of the sacred blue lotus. This flower, which opens with the sun and closes with the moon, releases a faint, wine-like aroma as it prepares for its nocturnal rest. It is a scent of transcendence, used by priests to bridge the gap between the physical and the divine. Inhale this phantom fragrance. It is cool, sweet, and slightly heavy, like a liquid entering your senses. It numbs the restless parts of the brain, inviting the subconscious to take the lead. The lotus scent is a key that unlocks the door to the deep-time dreams, dreams where you fly over the Nile or walk through halls of amber light. Let the floral mist guide you. You are sinking into a garden of ancient peace, where the flowers sleep as deeply as the stones. At the very center of the Great Pyramid, there is a point known as the Pillar of Silence. It is the exact geometric axis where all the forces of the structure meet. In this spot, there is no vibration, no sound, and no movement. It is a vertical void that reaches from the bedrock to the stars. Imagine your spine aligning with this pillar. As you align, your body becomes a conduit for absolute stillness. You are the center of the world's most stable object. The chaos of the revolving earth, the storms of the desert, and the flow of the river all spin around you, but you remain untouched. This is the 0 point of rest. From here, there is nowhere else to go and nothing else to be. You have reached the core of the great dust of Egypt. The story has slowed to a single, eternal heartbeat. You are the pyramid. You are the silence. You are the deep, deep time. As you sink further into the Giza Plateau, notice how time itself begins to change its consistency. It is no longer a rushing river, it has become a vast, still lake of liquid amber. In the shadow of the Great Pyramid, a second stretches into a minute, and a minute expands into an age. This is the deceleration of time, a gift from the ancient stones to those who seek rest. Feel your heartbeat slowing down to match the geological clock of the limestone. Thump, long pause. Thump. There is no hurry here. The pyramids have watched 5,000 years of sunrises, and to them, your lifetime is but a single, peaceful breath. Let go of the human time, the hours, the deadlines, the ticking clocks. They have no power here. You are entering the deep time, where the only measurement is the slow drift of the stars and the gradual cooling of the desert sand. You are becoming timeless. Imagine your consciousness resting upon a floor of polished black basalt, like the pavement of the ancient mortuary temples. This stone is so dark it seems to swallow all remaining light, and so smooth it feels like frozen water. It is the color of the primeval void, the darkness that existed before the first dawn. This basalt is cold, firm, and absolute. It provides a foundation that cannot be shaken. As you lie upon this mental surface, feel the last flickers of mental energy being absorbed by the dark stone. It takes away the friction of thought, leaving your mind as smooth and silent as the temple floor. There is a profound dignity in this darkness. It is not a place of fear, but a place of total privacy and protection. You are a secret kept by the stone, hidden in the heart of the night. In ancient Egyptian belief, the sun traveled through the duat, the underworld, during the night. Now, feel the breath of the duat rising through the cracks in the bedrock. It is a cool, subterranean breeze that carries the echoes of forgotten songs and the wisdom of the ancestors. It is the rhythmic breathing of the earth itself as it dreams. This breath moves through you like a gentle tide. Inhale the ancient, exhale the modern. With every breath, you are traveling deeper into the hidden geography of the soul. The heavy granite walls of the pyramid act as a filter, allowing only the purest, most peaceful energies to reach you. You are navigating the night boat of the sun, drifting through a landscape of silver shadows and golden echoes. The journey is effortless. The destination is total oblivion. Return one last time to the very center of the Great Pyramid, to the red granite box of the king's chamber. Here, the silence has a physical weight. It is a crystalline silence, compressed by millions of tons of stone into a diamond-like purity. In this chamber, even the sound of your own breathing seems to belong to someone else, to the pyramid itself. The granite walls are vibrating at a frequency so low it is felt rather than heard. It is a steady, grounding hum, the OM of the earth. This vibration acts as a cosmic broom, sweeping away the final remnants of your identity. You are no longer a person, you are a vibration, a frequency, a part of the stone's eternal song. The chamber is a sarcophagus for your worries, burying them forever under the weight of the ages. You are the essence of the pyramid, and the pyramid is the essence of you. The edges of your body are beginning to blur. As the first hint of the true dawn prepares to break far to the east, you experience the great dissolve. The boundary between the sand beneath you, the stone above you, and the air around you is vanishing. You are melting into the great dust of Egypt. You are the dust on the Sphinx's paw. You are the mist over the Nile. You are the silver light on the pyramid's peak. There is no more me, there is only this. A vast, interconnected piece that spans the entire valley. The world is a soft, grey velvet, and you are a single thread within it. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of 5,000 years. Your spirit is light as a falcon's feather. You are falling upward into the stars and downward into the earth at the very same time. The deep time has claimed you. Sleep is no longer a state, it is your new home. In the deepest hall of your subconscious, imagine the hall of truth, where the ancient Egyptians believed the heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the feather of truth and cosmic order. In this moment of deep time, your heart is lighter than that feather. All the burdens of the modern world, the heavy metals of stress, and the dense stones of worry have been stripped away by the desert wind. You are floating in a state of perfect moral and physical equilibrium. There is no judgment here, only the lightness of being. Feel your chest rising and falling with the effortless grace of a bird's wing. The gravity of the pyramids no longer pulls you down, it holds you in a steady, protective embrace, allowing your spirit to drift upward. You are as light as the incense smoke rising from a temple altar, spiraling toward the stars. The lightness is intoxicating, a sweet, airy peace that fills every cell of your body. You are pure, you are light, and you are ready for the final transition into the great unknown. Imagine yourself now stepping onto the silver bark, the celestial boat that carries the sun through the night. The wood of the boat is ancient cedar, smoothed by the friction of starlight. There are no oars, for the boat is moved by the silent current of the cosmos. As you sit at the prow, the Nile below and the Milky Way above merge into a single, shimmering river of light. The movement is so smooth it feels like stillness. You are gliding through the field of reeds, the eternal paradise where the grass is made of emerald light and the air tastes like honey and cold water. This is the ultimate destination of the deep-time traveler. Every ripple the boat creates in the ether is a wave of relaxation that washes over your mind. Sway, glide, drift. You are leaving the shores of the physical world behind, heading toward the horizon where the stars meet the sand. The journey is your rest. The movement is your sleep. Before the pyramids, before the Nile, before the sun, there was the first word, the vibration that brought the universe into being. In the absolute silence of your deep sleep, you can finally hear the echo of this word. It is not a sound, but a feeling of firmness. It is the steady, low-frequency hum that resides at the center of every atom in your body. Listen to this primordial hum. It is the sound of the great dust of Egypt speaking to your soul. It says that you are eternal. It says that you are safe. It says that you are home. This vibration is a warm, golden light that starts at the base of your spine and moves slowly upward, relaxing every muscle, every nerve, every thought. You are being retuned by the universe, aligned with the original frequency of peace. The echo is fading now, not because it is leaving, but because you are becoming it. You are the sound. You are the silence. The sun is just a heartbeat away from the horizon, but you are no longer there to see it. You have completed the dissolution. Your consciousness has scattered into the billions of grains of sand that cover the Giza Plateau. You are the desert. You are the dunes. You are the history that lies buried beneath the surface. Feel yourself expanding across the vastness of the Sahara. You are everywhere and nowhere. There is a magnificent freedom in this facelessness. You have no name, no shape, no weight. You are a part of the deep-time landscape, a witness to the passing of ages. The heat of the coming day will not touch you, for you are buried deep in the cool, dark memory of the earth. The pyramids are your brothers, the Sphinx is your guardian, and the Nile is your lifeblood. You have vanished into the most beautiful place imaginable, the heart of the eternal moment. We have reached the eternal threshold. The story of the great dust of Egypt has come to its natural end, but your journey into the deep sleep is just beginning. The words are fading, turning into the soft, white noise of the desert wind. Hush, shush, hush. The Great Pyramid stands as a silent sentinel over your rest. The stars have closed their eyes. The river has stopped its murmuring. The world is a blank, white canvas of peace. There is nothing left to do. There is nowhere left to go. You are exactly where you are meant to be. In the heart of a deep time, under the protection of the ancients, in the cradle of the stone. Close your final inner eye. Let the darkness be your light. Let the silence be your song. The pharaohs are sleeping. The desert is sleeping. And now you are sleeping. Deep, deep in the time that never ends.